Hi, everybody. It's Chelsea Phernetton with CLIPA and the amazing Zack Marker with Tinsel and Elves and Ladders. Today, we have some exciting stuff for you on CLIPACon Live. If you guys don't know yet, CLIPACon, the best holiday lighting installer show, is coming up in Orlando this year on August 26th. So we have a lot of really awesome stuff planned for you guys. Zack, who has been a longtime CLIPA member, owns an amazing holiday lighting company. On top of that, built this really cool software, Tinsel. He's doing a bunch of stuff at CLIPACon. Not only is he coming as a vendor for Tinsel, but I'm also having his expertise on my industry panel. Every year, we always get asked, like, hey, we love the panel idea because people can come. You can hear from everybody who's like really making moves in holiday lighting, and they get to share their experience, strength, hope, wisdom, knowledge, all of those things. So I just want to introduce Zack. Hi, Zack.
Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm doing lovely. Another day in paradise.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I should say, how is the weather where you're at right now in Philly?
According to my AI bot, it is 72 and cloudy. That's my
Okay.
AI bot right there. That's Gwen. She's a Mac Mini that sits next to Baby Grinch in the leg lamp.
I love it. Well, good for you. That's actually warmer than California right now. It's a little chilly
Yeah.
for us. It's like 68 degrees. So
Well, yeah, and it's cloudy here too, so it's like a nice, cool, warm, if that makes sense.
good. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I kind of want to talk to you. I would say we both have kids too that are about the same age, which is
hmm
awesome. So, congrats to you. I know you welcomed your second little one in January of this year. How is that going? How are you sleeping?
Yeah, so funny enough, he doesn't sleep through the night yet, but funny enough, it's actually not funny. We were actually just in the hospital for 3 days with my oldest,
Oh,
who
no.
had an asthma attack. So Sunday till we got out yesterday, and I totally forgot about this live until Courtney messaged me yesterday, and I was like, "Oh boy, do I want to do this?" I was like, "I have to do this. I love to do this." So I was like, "You know what? That'll bring me up a little bit." And so yeah, both kids are doing awesome. Liam was born December 29th, right after Christmas. So he's about 5 months old at this point, and Remy's doing great.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. I'm so sorry to hear about Remy in the hospital. That's never great, but glad that you could show up. Way to persevere. What it is to be a business owner. No matter what, like you have to show up for you, for your business, for your clients. I always say like that's the hardest part about anything that you do. And also, Liam, congrats to you for making the cutoff December 29th.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
So
so
Remy was born in August 30th. Oof, I should know that by now. August 30th, she was born, and in that particular year that she was born, we started hanging Christmas lights August 24th or something like that. So Remy was born at the very beginning of Christmas season, and Liam was born at the very, very end of Christmas season, or at least install season. So my kids just bookend the Christmas season.
I love it. That is amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that. I have two little ones that are my daughter just turned 2 in March, and then my son now is 3 months old. Today he's 3 months old, and he is great. He's an angel. Zoe is absolutely insane right now. I always say, like, please don't come to my house between the hours of 4 and 8. It's a prison.
Yep.
So,
Yep. I know
oops.
the feeling very much.
Yeah. So, but it's great. It's like so fulfilling and so great, and really exciting to see Christmas through their eyes. But anyways, enough about the
Yeah.
personal stuff. Let's talk about Tinsel. How exciting that is. I just wanted to share that with you because I always like. It's so cool to see our kids like growing up, and we're all going through the same like struggles right now. So
Yeah,
always
yeah.
super
And one
cool.
one thing that's that the last few days has taught me is if your business doesn't have like the right systems in place and it can't run without you, then you're kind of handcuffed to it. And luckily, I have a lot of the right things in place that I was able to just like take 2 to 3 days to be with the family through that, and not have to worry about, is this being done, is that being done, because we have the right things in place. Tinsel being one of them. But even in both businesses, even in the Tinsel business, Tinsel developers and sales and all that stuff ran without me, and Elves and Ladders ran without me for a couple days as well. So um, it really like put it in perspective. Like all this time that we've been building was for moments like that. Um, and so it's just an interesting perspective that I got.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep, life shows up, and that's the real test. Is it's like can everyone function if I'm not there? Can the
Right.
jobs get done? What systems are being broken or tested when I do leave, And every year we try to look at that too. We're in the process right now of redoing a bunch of painful stuff that I've just been kind of putting off. And, Matt and I sat down and we're like, okay, time to like lock in, as the young kids would say, and like figure out what we need to change and do better because, every season we're like, okay, we can't go through what we did last year in this area. Like, how do we buckle down and make it a smoother process? And it's painful.
Yeah, it's painful. It's fun. It's why we do what we do.
Yeah. Well, tell me how. I absolutely love Tinsel. I always tell people, I'm like, hey, when it comes to your lighting business, like, please always schedule a demo with Zack. Zack understands all of the pain that we go through. And this system was built by an installer for installers, which I think is so important because, as we know, it's really easy to spend a lot of money on software, a bunch of software. And if you're not really implementing it, it can just really eat up your profitability. I think Tinsel, I always say like all of these great things about it, but I just want to hear from you kind of, you can give us a little summary of what Tinsel is, what it does, and then also tell us about some of your new features that you have for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tinsel is a CRM designed specifically for lighting contractors. So it's holiday lighting, landscape lighting, permanent lighting, any kind of lighting. It'll help you keep track of your clients, your projects, quoting, scheduling, invoicing, inventory management. So basically anything that you need on the business side of running your lighting company, Tinsel can handle that. We have a lot of really cool features coming out this year. One of the most buzzword ones is we've always had a mockup tool in Tinsel, and I'll admittedly say we've always had the worst mockup tool in the market, but that's now changed. And so within the next 2 weeks, we should be rolling out Mockup Tool 2.0, where we do like a complete overhaul, better graphics across the board. We got brand new features. You know, the same way that you could kind of draw lights in most mockup tools, you can now do that with Garland, which is going to be really helpful. So you can kind of
Yes.
custom swag Garland across railings and things like that. We have brand new ways to wrap bushes and trees. You can now measure with the mockup tool. So a lot of really cool things, permanent lighting as well. So you have some custom animations and beams and stuff like that that you don't see on typical mockup tools. So a lot of that is already built, just waiting for release. And that's going to be a part one of the mockup tool 2.0. I know a lot of numbers, confusing. But part two of the mockup tool is going to be where it really becomes different than everything else. We're going to be able to create a mockup and then let Tinsel create the entire proposal for you based on that mockup, right? So really a time saver, especially when you get into November, December, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to create a mockup because I don't have time. I'll just create the quote. Well, now you don't have to choose. You can just create the mockup and let it create the quote for you. So that's a really cool feature that's going to be coming out probably later in the year. And then the last part of the mockup tool is what we're calling live mockups. So you can already have your mockups on Tinsel proposals to send to your clients. So obviously, what's the point of a mockup if they can't see it? And another thing that you can already do in Tinsel is have optional line items on your quotes, right? And so now we're just bridging that gap. So now the client can look at their proposal and they can turn on or off parts of their quote, and the mockup will also live interact with them in real time. So if they want to turn off the bush lighting, they can turn that off, and then the image will update automatically for them. Pricing will update automatically for them as well. So live mockups, we're calling that. The mockup tool is going to be going from like the worst one on the market to probably the best one by the end of the year. So it's really cool to see that come to life.
I want to share something really quick too. And I always tell
Yeah.
people, I've had a couple of people that were like, "Oh, I want to see this on Tinsel," or I want is there a way to customize it? And I know people who have messaged you, and literally within 24 hours, you're like done, updated, ready to go. It's live. So I appreciate that about you. And you really have to people have to understand when you're rolling out a software, an app, a system, anything like that, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to take some revisions. But when I have direct communication with the developer, for me, I'm like, that is like key to being successful, to being able to utilize that system to its fullest potential. And live mockups, that to me, I'm like, easy upselling. Like that makes it so much easier for the client to decide. And it's such a visual, emotional sale that to me, that That's easy. That's like, you
Yeah.
don't even really know how to sell, just need to know how to build out your quotes and you'll be okay.
Yeah. What's really cool about Tinsel and our team, um, I'm not the developer, right? I do not know how to actually code anything,
Mhm.
but our team is pretty small, right? We have 4 developers on staff. And what's really cool about the way we structured Tinsel is that for 9 or 10 months, they're building new features. And then once the busy season comes around August, September, they kind of pull back from building new features and they switch gears into a support role, right? And so the same people that are building it are also the ones that you're talking to when you need help or if you have a feature request or anything like that in the busy season, which is really cool. For one, they know it really well, right? We're not just hiring SDRs. They are really integrated with the product. They know exactly what's going on with beneath the surface. But two, if there's an issue, it gets fixed really quickly because they're like, oh, I know exactly why that's happened. It's because I screwed up and didn't do this, right? And so they just jump in, they fix it, and they deploy it, and it's pretty quick. So that's what's really cool about the way we've structured the company. I am still in the Christmas industry. Obviously, I don't think I'll be going anywhere for a while. So I'm the one that's like, okay, it'd be really cool if it did this, because that'll help us as business owners, successfully or something like that. But they're the ones that I go to and go, hey, we need this new feature. We need this mock-up tool to be reactive on a quote or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, let's make that happen. And then I just let them do their thing and they come back to me and I'm like, okay, let's tweak this, tweak that. So it's really cool to have the development team be so integrated, into the Christmas industry. At this point, they're all Christmas buffs like the rest of us, and they don't hang lights, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, and it's always hard too, like to explain to people about Christmas and how crazy it is. They're like, "Oh, okay, you only work a couple, months out of the year." I'm like, "Oh, you have no idea. This is a year-round thing." And for me, I love too how you have all of these new features. The inventory management in Tinsel is like that's insane right there. That makes everyone's job so much easier. Another thing, and I don't know if you mentioned this, but you're set up for the lease model in Tinsel. Is that correct? Or do you allow
Yeah,
people to
so you could do
lease
both. You
it?
could do leasing or sales. Doesn't really matter. What's really cool though on the leasing model is we do have multi-year agreements, kind of native in Tinsel, and so on one proposal, we do 1, 3, and 5 year agreements. So I'll use that moving forward for the discussion. But on one proposal, you can just build that proposal one time, and Tinsel will present 3 different options, 3 different price points for that 1, 3, or 5 year agreement, or 1, 2, 3, or just 2, 3, or just 1, 3, whatever, however you want to configure it. Um, so you're not building 3 separate quotes. You're not pricing it 3 separate times. You're just building what you need for that project one time, and Tinsel's going to spit out the pricing for all 3 based on inputs that you put in when you set it all up. So it matches your pricing, but it's really cool to be able to show the client, hey, it's going to be $2,500 to do this, but if you lock into a 3 year contract, we can do it for 2,200. Or if you lock into a 5 year contract, we can do it for 1,900. And now if we do it for 1,900, now you can afford to add that wreath on that you were looking at earlier, right? And so you're able to just extend the contract, get higher tickets by upselling, and so it's a really really cool thing, which leads me to the next really cool feature that we're rolling out, batch cloning. We're calling it batch cloning, and what this basically does is you're going to say, hey Tinsel, show me all of my accepted projects from last year. Um, you get to decide which ones you want to send renewals to, and then Tinsel will do all the work for you, right? So you can automatically clone from last year into this year, into a new project for this year. You can automatically send out those proposals if you're not in a multi-year agreement, or if they are in a multi-year agreement, you can automatically accept those proposals and send out invoices, right? And it's all scheduled. So you can do this after your last light comes down in January. You can spend 10 minutes and get all of your renewals done for next year, and it's just off the plate, and they're all scheduled for July 1st, or however, what date you want to send them out. So it's really cool, um, and it's going to do all the work for you. So something that takes most of us days or weeks, depending on how many clients you have, the whole renewal process can now be done in like 10 to 15 minutes tops, and then it automatically schedules everything for you as well. So that's really cool. Something really excited for that. It's going to save a lot of time.
Yeah, that is amazing. I am right now in the process of doing a bunch of renewals, and when you're looking at, I'm looking at all the things I need to do to audit. Obviously, anybody who's recurring is super easy. And I'm on a commercial scale, but looking at all of that stuff is really daunting. But I'm like, hey, we need money. So we need to get this stuff kind of rocking and rolling. But that to me is like awesome. Like just to be able to audit that as soon as the lights come down, okay, we're good to go, schedule it so it sends. That sounds super easy. Can you share too, like what if I wanted to do like a Christmas in July campaign or something like that? Can you share how I would be able to do that with my customers if I was using Tinsel?
So that's probably going to be the next feature we're talking about, which is calling or texting. It's like you're part of the company, you know everything.
Yeah.
So calling and texting is right around the corner as well. So in the past, we've always been able to send out proposals and invoices just via email. Now we're actually integrating phone right inside of Tinsel. So um, you can text or call right from the app or from the computer app. You can have multiple phone numbers, assign them to multiple users. Right,
Love
everybody
that.
can have their own direct line and probably an additional line for like just the main phone number if you wanted to do that. And so that's probably where you would send out your campaigns and do things like that. So you're going to be able to keep all of your client communication in one place, right? No more sticky notes and texts and Facebook messages and emails and I mean, you get it. You can
Yeah.
kind of have that all wrapped up neatly inside of Tinsel, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
That's amazing. I also have Brian Scott, longtime friend. He's saying that he's been able to secure more long-term clients being able to use that. That's
Yeah.
awesome,
Hey,
man.
hey, Brian, how are you? Good to see you again. Yeah, I think Brian and I talked about this probably at the last ClipAcon. And he came up and he's like, dude, I got to tell you, the multi-year agreements have been a game changer for my company. And I'm like, that's awesome. I love that. And that's why we do what we do, just to kind of help business owners have better outcomes.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I always say too, like in the residential space, sometimes it doesn't, not everyone is going to go for a multi-year agreement. However, it's a lot easy for me to project and say, hey, what am I looking at this year? If I can't, even what if I could get 25% of my clients on a multi-year agreement? That would be
Right.
amazing. What if I could get 50%? Knowing that I have that money down the pipeline that's coming this next season, it makes a really, really big difference. So I think that's amazing. Really quick for people that are chiming in, ClipAcon is our annual conference for Christmas light installers. Anyone who's actually in the lighting space, doesn't have to be Christmas lights. It could be landscape lighting, permanent lighting, wherever you are in your business, your home service business. If you're looking to really get plugged in and learn a bunch of awesome stuff on how to grow your business, come to ClipAcon. This year, we're going to be in Orlando, August 26th. We're going to be at the Gaylord Palms. We're actually doing the show in conjunction with the huge convention. So anyone that is attending ClipAcon, you also get free access to the huge convention. So it's nice. You get two shows for one. You can save on travel expenses, knock it all out, bring the family, send them out to Disney, do a bunch of really cool stuff. So ClipAcon is happening. And today we have lovely Zack Marker with Tinsel on, and he's telling us about his awesome software. So yeah, go ahead, Zack. I'm sorry. I just wanted to let everybody know really quick before they were just kind of chiming in.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't remember where we are.
Okay, well, we're talking about multi-year agreements, how great that is. The live mockup tool, which is absolutely amazing. Another thing I know I want to know is like AI is coming for everyone's job, right? AI is coming for our water, for our power, for our jobs, which is really, really scary. An AI CRM sounds even scarier because for someone like me, I need control, and that's all my client information. Can you just kind of fill me in on my worries and like how Tinsel can take those away?
Yeah, so AI. I love AI, right? We just talked about how I have an AI assistant. That's Gwen, by the way. Gwen lives in that box there. She's awesome. I love AI. I use it all the time. This little thing on my wrist captures all of my day-to-day conversations and things like that, feeds Gwen, and then, me and Gwen chat about it all day long when I'm bored. But AI is a great thing, but you have to be careful with using AI built apps. And what I mean by that is like I can build an app in an hour, right? I can probably recreate Tinsel in a couple of days if we had AI. The downside to doing that though is we don't know what's going on under the hood, right? Everybody that's vibe coding is not a coder, right? Just like me, I'm not a coder, but I can create apps now. The downside to doing that is one, if it breaks, and software breaks. I
Mm-hmm.
promise you. If and when it breaks, how do we fix it, right? Well, we just go back to the AI chat thing and we code through it, right? Yeah, but we need to understand why it actually broke. And it's not always great to trust your company's client list and quoting and all of that stuff inside of an actual thing built by AI, right? Now, that's not to say don't use AI apps. I love AI apps. I build them all the time and I use other people's AI apps all the time. But I don't know that I would trust my entire company and all the data and all the processes that a CRM should have to be built by an AI app that's being run probably by somebody in the Christmas light industry. Otherwise, why would they be here? Um, that's also going to be busy in Q4 like the rest of us. So when it breaks, what do you think he's going to focus on? He's not going to focus on fixing that. He's going to focus on getting his Christmas light contracts taken care of
Yeah.
because that's time sensitive, right? And so I see them all popping up, a lot of AI things popping up, and I just want to warn people like it might be okay to use some of them, but just do your due diligence and make sure that you're not putting your trust blindly in, Chuck in a truck who has a computer and learns how to vibe code.
Yep.
That's how it's a scary
Yeah.
world.
Totally. And I know, like we were kind of talking about too, it's so easy to have so many different software systems. I've got Company Cam, I've got my CRM, I've got all of these things, right? And if I'm not really utilizing and using all of these things to their maximum potential, I can burn a lot of money really quick. One thing though that we don't play with is the CRM. It's like that I'm paying for every month. I can't get rid of it, even though we're a seasonal business. The CRM has to work 365 days a year. Can you give me an idea what the cost is for Tinsel? So if I'm looking to add it on, what I can budget in?
Yeah, so Tinsel is way underpriced. Um, it's the same price as it was when it came out 5 years ago at the
Amazing.
ClipCon in Nashville, but it's $89 a month if you go month to month, which means you can, just pay it monthly. Or if you want some savings, you could pay the year up front and it's $69 a month, comes out to $828 for the entire year. You get the same
Amazing.
exact features both ways, and it's the cost of like less than one job, right? So one job pays for your CRM for the entire season. It's a no-brainer, and eventually, we are going to start raising prices because of a lot of the new features that are coming out.
Right.
They're heavy on costs, but I keep pushing that ball back. I'm like, we'll raise it next year. We'll raise it next year. So get in now before it goes up. But that's our pricing: 89 or 69 a month.
Yeah, that's super cost effective. Yeah, lock in that grandfather rate right now based off of all of these features that you're saying with that AI live, or not the AI, I'm sorry, the live mockup tool. That's super
Mhm.
cost effective. And I don't think people realize that. Like Courtney said, $89 is insane. I would say for sure, like sign up now. That is a small price to pay to have all of your clients in one space to know kind of where they're at, what's going on, be able to send those quotes, be able to track inventory. I've been looking
Mhm.
at inventory management systems and I'm like, oh, I wish it was 800 for the year,
The
and
eight
it's
the
awesome.
eight inventory management inside of Tinsel is like the most overlooked feature. People are like, ah, I don't really need it, and then they don't use it, and that's okay. You don't have to use it, but then they're like, I don't know what I have. I'm like, because you don't track your inventory, and it's not that hard to do in Tinsel. It's one extra step in the entire process, but you get so much more out of it. It's great for knowing what you have in season, so you know what you can actually sell or
Totally.
lease. It's great for the beginning of the year when you're like, I don't know what I have, so let's find out what I have so that I know what I can order and get pre-order, and you can save money that way. So inventory is a huge part. Somebody asked me a question one time, and they were like, if you had a bank account, but the bank never told you how much money was in your account, there's money there, but you never know how much. Like, would you use that bank? Like, no.
No.
Well, your inventory is the same exact way. It's a bank account of, like, it's all money sitting there. You spent money on it. You're going to make money from it. Why would you not want to know exactly how much is there?
Yeah,
So
for
that stuck
sure.
with me for a while.
Yep. And Mario, thumbs up. Thanks, Mario.
What's going
Mario
on, Mario?
that's what we were actually. I spent the whole day yesterday in the warehouse, and because we just moved to a new warehouse, and we're sorting everything. We're kind of getting rid of. We have a bunch of like old wire that has to be recycled. Just a bunch of stuff that we're like, why are we holding on to all of this? And then I'm like, wait. there's a tub full of like 100 spritzers. Where were those? Oh yeah, we needed those, couldn't find them, but now we have them all, you know? So
Hmm.
that's what we were doing yesterday, is counting, reorganizing, getting stuff ready to recycle. And it's like, it's a pain in the butt, but once you start implementing those systems from the beginning, it's a lot easier. Any jobs or anything else that comes after that, it's really that initial process. And Tinsel too, I appreciate how easy you have it set up, because that's one thing too. It's like, yes, you have to, the software is easy to use, but you still have to set it up. And now is the time to do that, to set up your softwares, to set up your systems, to get your inventory locked in, because come August, end of August, I'm not thinking about what I need to organize. I'm thinking about hiring, making sure I have everything in place, because we're going to start installing. Those are the things you have to think about, especially if you've been in the lighting industry for a couple of years. Like you said, I mean, you guys start in August, which is insane, you know? So it's like, with such a short amount of period to make all of our money for the year, we really can't afford to not have this stuff set up the right way.
Yeah, you have to be prepared, and you can only be prepared by doing the work and having the data. And that's exactly what a good CRM should help you do is
For
gather the
sure.
data and just get ready, right? Christmas season is all about preparation. If you start looking at it in September, you're too late. It's just too
Totally.
late to get everything off the ground they're running. So definitely want to be prepared.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Well, anything else do you want to plug in about Tinsel before we end today?
Um, it's awesome. That's it. I mean, it's awesome. You should get on it. Um, did I talk about the sales pipeline? No, we have a brand new
No.
sales. We have a brand new sales pipeline coming, right? So one of the major flaws of Tinsel was that it was mostly an operations software. It was like, hey, you close the job, and then we'll help you prep it, manage your inventory, install the job, take it down, store it. Like everything on the operation side is built into Tinsel already. That's where it started. But we were severely lacking on the sales side, right? If a new lead came in, you would know you had a new lead, but you would have no way to know where you are in that process with that new lead. And so that's changing now as well. We're building out a brand new sales pipeline so you can know where every lead is in the sales process at all times. There's no more guessing. And what's really cool is the features we're building now are like building blocks for future features. So the calling and texting
Yeah.
and the sales pipeline, well, you bridge those together, and now we have an automations thing that we can build. So we're going to be able to have the automatic follow-ups, let clients know that they're, hey, the truck's on its way, blah
Love
blah
that.
blah. We had to push it, all these different automations that you see with other softwares. Where why use other softwares when you can get it all inside of Tinsel? And so that's what we're working towards. So that's really cool. But other than that, that's what I have on new features of Tinsel. And of course, there's all the old great features still alive as well.
Yeah, that is amazing. I'm excited. I would implore everyone who's listening right now, please schedule a demo with Zack. Look at the software, try to use it, get used to it. Aside from that, if you just want to get to know Zack, schedule a demo with him. Zack is a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information. I'm so excited to have you on the panel that I had this year with all of the industry leaders. I want to just close out with this. As we know, holiday lighting is not what it used to be probably 4 or 5 years ago. Now every truck in a truck wants to hang lights. I always say, like, anyone can learn how to hang lights. That's not the hard part. The hardest part is, how do you run the business? Do you have one little nugget or tip and trick that you could share with how to separate people, obviously, from those guys who are just the fly by night guys? How do you continue to maintain the level of service and business that you have up until this point? Because now you've been hanging lights for what, 7, 8 years?
About 8 or 9 years, yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Um, it's funny, you hit the nail on the head. I always say hanging Christmas lights is easy, running a Christmas light business is hard. And so my little nugget would be to be organized and be prepared. We talked about it a little bit. Selling Christmas lights is not that hard easy either, as it's actually getting a little bit harder now that there's more people out there, but it's still not that hard of a thing. And so you should be able to sell Christmas lights at scale pretty well, and you should be able to install Christmas lights at scale pretty well. But bridging all of that, managing all of that, staying organized, not forgetting to do a takedown in February and the client calls you in March, right?
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Everybody's been there, but you have to stay organized and stay clean, and you have to have some kind of systems for that. You can use
Totally.
Tinsel. You don't have to use Tinsel. There are other things out there, right? But I urge you to at least have something other than sticky notes and a notepad to run your Christmas light business, because it's not scalable. And as soon as you lose that notepad or you drop it in the toilet, like I have once or twice,
Yeah.
um, everything's gone, and you need to be able to recover from that. So
Totally.
definitely get a CRM. Whatever one you want is great. I recommend Tinsel, but definitely stay organized and be prepared.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for coming on the show today. With everything going on with your daughter Remy too, we really appreciate you being here. Really looking forward to seeing you at ClipACon, and then also at the huge convention. You'll be there too.
Yep.
So I'm excited I get to see you. We're for sure going to have you back on the show before ClipACon happens. But in the
Cool.
meantime, if anybody wants any information, please reach out to Zack. We'll make sure that we put the Tinsel contact information in the chat. So then that way you guys can schedule that demo, get the information, and then yeah, time to lock in. So thank you again. We hope to see everybody at ClipACon on August 26th at the where are we gonna be? Orlando at the Palm at the Gaylord. So come see us. It's gonna be a great time. We'll have the classic social event that we always have. We are also going to have a mingle and jingle event for our welcome reception, which will be really fun. Everyone's going to get to know everybody, and kind of just usually we're like so quick when we get there. We're traveling. We talk to only people we know. This year, we want to make sure that everyone gets to talk to a little bit about everyone, get to know everybody in the lighting industry, because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So thank you again, Zack, for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Chelsea. Can't wait to see you in Orlando.
Yep. See you soon.